Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all of the holiday things because it's been so long since we've had a chance to catch up. However you celebrate, I hope it was amazing and you've had a great start to 2024 so far. I did not intend to take quite such a long break, but unfortunately I got hit with a terrible head cold. The good news is I've been the only one in my family to get sick. My parents came to stay with us for Christmas, which was amazing. It was very relaxing, but they were fine. My husband's been healthy. Even though I have been coughing and sneezing all around the house, I'm starting to feel a bit better. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm still kind of congested. I don't care. It's been too long, so it's time to blow away the cobwebs, and I'm just gonna sniffle my way through today's video. And it's basically a full face of Chanel today because that is the last makeup collection that I purchased. And I was inspired by the Pantone Color of the Year Peach Fizz, so I pulled out a lot of really pretty peachy tones for today's makeup. I did already apply some skincare, but I'm gonna go in with a little bit more because there's just something about being sick maybe that just dries out my skin. It's also been pretty cold, dry weather in Miami, which has been beautiful, very different, but I don't think my skin is used to it. And I have dry flakes all over my chin, all over my nose. So I'm going in with another pump of this Strivectin Hydration Multiplier Hyaluronic Acid Serum. I've been using this for the last few weeks. It was sent to me complimentary because we're working on a campaign, but I really like it. In fact, I think it's the best hyaluronic acid serum I've ever used. It's a dual chamber, so when you pump it, you get a little gel, a little cream, and then you mix it together, and I just really like the texture. It's not really heavy, it's not sticky, but it definitely feels hydrating, like an intense hydration, which is exactly what I need. My skin is just drinking this stuff up. I cannot get enough. And I want to keep things somewhat natural today, so I'm going in with one of my all-time favorite complexion products. It's from Chanel. This is the Le Beige Water Fresh Complexion Touch. I love this. It's mostly water, but it has a little bit more coverage than the Water Fresh tint. Other than getting sick, we had a really great Christmas, our first Christmas in the new house. So exciting. I had so much fun decorating our new Christmas tree and the front room. The fireplace mantle looked so pretty. And my parents brought some decorations for the outside. We had a really nice wreath on the door. It was a good start. I've had to stop myself from picking up all of the leftover Christmas decorations on sale, but I feel like that is the smart way to go, is to just get everything now so next year we will be ready. And everything is still up. I don't have the heart to take it down yet. I'm still basking in the glory. I'm really proud of what we were able to accomplish so far. And because I got sick, we haven't been able to take any family photos by the Christmas tree. So I told my husband I would be really sad if we didn't get any photos from our first Christmas in the house. You know, this feels like one of those years that we have to take a good picture together. And he promised me that we would go on a date night this weekend and take a picture. So we're leaving all of the decorations up for one more week, and then next weekend I will cave and I will finally take them down. I'm also dreading taking everything down and putting it back in the box because then I'm gonna have to go into the storage area and it desperately needs to be organized. So I know it's gonna take me a long time to put everything back properly. So I'm putting it off. The food was amazing, of course. That's always one of the best parts. We usually do a honey baked ham for Christmas. So we did that this year and we all had ham for days on days because it was so big. Everyone liked their presents. The dogs had a great time playing in the backyard together, and it was just a really chill holiday. This is one of the few non-Chanel products we're using today because they don't really have a nice sheer glowy luminous concealer option. So I pulled out my Very Valentino and I have the shade Light or Liger, Ligr2 is the shade that I have. I know I mentioned in my last Get Ready With Me video when I was getting ready for a holiday party that I feel like all year long, it's like you're training for holiday makeup. Like there's such a buildup into holiday, and that's when everything is full glam, sparkle, holiday parties. You want to look and feel your absolute best. And then there's always a bit of a cool down period after the holidays. You know, that really strange in between, right after Christmas, before the new year, and really a few days even after the new year, when the exhaustion finally hits, there's no more events to attend, nobody really knows what they're supposed to be doing, and you're just sort of relaxing. I feel like that's usually the time where I'm not really getting glam anyways. But this year, because I was sick, I haven't gotten ready or done makeup in such a long time. I had a very long period where there was just no beauty going on, no glam. And it's good to have a break, but it's also nice to get back into it and do a little sunless tanner, style your hair for a change, put on a little makeup, and just feel like yourself, feel human again. I was in full-blown troll mode for the last few weeks, even on New Year's Eve, sadly. Sometimes we go to dinner on New Year's, but it's just one of those nights. I love New Year's Eve because I love setting new intentions and just the feeling of a fresh start, turning the page, a new chapter. It's always nice to look back on the previous year, but I always feel really excited and motivated going into a new year. I don't really look forward to partying and getting dressed up. If we do something, great. If not, that's okay too. But especially in Miami, it becomes one of those nights that it's so expensive to go out, and it's just not really worth it. You can just wait one more weekend and go out, have a great time with your friends, and probably end up spending a third of what you would spend if you go out on New Year's Eve. So we just had a pretty chill night. We watched a movie and we had great food. My husband is an amazing cook, so he cooked a really great meal for us. We had fresh baked cookies for dessert, and that's how we rang in the new year. We barely made it to midnight, and it was perfect. Exactly what I wanted. I'm going to let this dry down on my face a little bit, and then I'm going to spritz the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Earlier in the day on New Year's Eve, on the 31st, I went over to my friend's house and we started working on our vision boards for 2024. Just hanging out. We had a little brunch, lunch, listened to music, and started visualizing all of our goals for the year, which is always nice. Came home, my husband and I went for a really long walk outside. So we spent some time in nature before we called it a night and had dinner at home. And I've been thinking about what kind of goals and makeup resolutions I want to set for 2024. Not that I think you need to go into the new year with hard and fast rules, and we don't have to get crazy, but I do always like to make goals for myself. And I am starting this year on a no-buy. It's one of those things, it just needs to be done again this year, and this bronzer is actually the perfect example. I think I have about 5 or 6 of these little bronzers, and they're great, but they last such a long time, and I haven't been able to even finish an old Soleil Tan de Chanel. And it's been years since they even made that formula. I would hate to see it go to waste. I've done no-buys in the past where I've gone months without purchasing any new products, and I survived. And I know even that doesn't seem that impressive. There are always new shiny products coming out that are tempting to buy, but I try to remind myself to shop the way I shopped for beauty before I was a content creator and before I ever worked in cosmetics. I would never continue to buy products if I had drawers and drawers of backups at home, and I think it's good to get back to that. For me, it really just comes down to waste. I obviously love beauty products. I love shopping for new shiny things and trying new formulas. But I see firsthand how many products just sit in a drawer. I can see the formulas separating. Things are expiring in front of my eyes, and I end up doing declutters where I'm getting rid of products a lot of times that I spent a lot of money on and only used a handful of times. And that's really what I'm trying to stay away from this year. I just don't want to waste anything. No major declutters this year. And if there's something that I'm not going to use, then I need to donate it and donate it quickly instead of waiting until the end of the year to do one large donation. That's one of my makeup goals I'm setting for myself, is to constantly get into the habit of just donating. There's a women's shelter, the Lotus House in Miami. I've donated to them before. They always take products. Cleaning and organizing often goes hand in hand with declutters, and even though I don't plan to do any major declutters, I definitely need to clean and organize. And another goal I have for this year is to stay organized. That is so much harder than you would think, because every time I film, I'm taking out products, and a lot of times I'm just rushing. I basically fly by the seat of my pants, so I don't always take the time to really put everything back properly. And then it just becomes a snowball effect where it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I put it off until it's way too late. So instead, of waiting 6 months until things are basically unlivable in here to do cleaning and organizing, I'm just gonna carve out time. I think the best way to do it is to just carve out time after I film each video, but every week. I don't know what day of the week I'm gonna do this yet, but I'm just gonna give myself maybe 2 hours, set the timer on my phone, and just commit that time to cleaning and organizing every single week. And staying organized is really the key to keeping track of what you already have. That way you can see everything, you familiarize yourself with the inventory of products you own, so maybe you are less tempted. If you just counted, oh, I have 25 blushes here, Gucci's launching a new blush, maybe I can wait. Maybe I can hold out and try to finish a few products before I purchase any new blushes. It kind of saves you from purchasing duplicates of things that have accidentally got pushed back in the drawer and you've forgotten about them. It's a money saver as well. And I did save my empties again this year. For the last, I think, 5 years now, I've saved an entire year's worth of empties. The bag is looking very shallow. I don't think I finished nearly as many products in 2023, which is so disappointing because it was one of my main goals. And I stopped purchasing as much makeup because I really wanted to go through things, and I'm nervous to look at the contents. I haven't checked out the bag yet, but that video will be coming soon. It's always one of my favorites to film. This right here is the star of the show today, our Coral Blush. This is part of the new Les Beige Healthy Winter Glow collection from Chanel. It's available online, and I know it is rolling out to department stores. I know at Nordstrom's it sold out really quickly online, but it should be in stores as well. This is shade Coral Givre, and what I learned from the other two shades is that it goes on very sheer, but it is buildable. And I want to show you quickly, I pulled out the Les Beige Cool eyeshadow palette. This is the palette that launched with the collection, and the original reason I didn't use this in that video is because I thought the colors might clash. I don't know. I'll hold them next to each other and you can decide for yourself. But if I'm wearing this eyeshadow palette, I would probably go with a pink blush. And I do really love a coral cheek, usually for spring, summer. But I'm going to do warmer tones on the eyes. So I actually think instead of the cool Les Beige palette, this would work really nicely with, I think this is the warm. The warm. So instead of cool, go with the warm. This one I believe is always available. I have a clean brush for once. I'm so excited to try this. And Chanel will always be the exception to my no-buys. Even though I'm going on a no-buy to start 2024, if Chanel launches something new, I will always pick it up to review because it's just kind of become the backbone of my channel, and I always like seeing what they come out with every single year. Very pretty. Again, it's going on a little bit sheer, but I'm going to build it up a bit. The color is gorgeous, and this one does have a very, very slight gold sheen to it. So pretty. I think for my first low buy, I'm going to go until the Sephora Spring Savings event, which is not that long, honestly. I want to say it's in March or April. It might be the end of March, early April. So 3 to 4 months. I'm going to see how that goes. I love that color. Ooh, pretty, pretty. And then depending on how I'm feeling, I might go again from the spring savings event to the holiday savings event because that would take me through most of the year. And it would also ensure that I waited. I didn't make any impulse purchases. I could wait to see reviews and sort of edit my true wish list, because that's something that I learned last year is there are so many new products that are constantly being launched all the time that you think something is going to be really good and you're going to miss out until you skip it, and then the next week people are talking about something totally different. People move on really quickly. The merry-go-round of launches never stops. So by forcing yourself to just sit back, forcing yourself to sit out and wait for a sale, it's great because you'll never pay full price as long as it's available at Sephora, but it also forces you to really consider, do you actually want that product? Do you really, really want it? Or is there something better? I actually prefer blushes like this that go on a bit more sheer. As long as you can build them up to get the color payoff you want, I think they're better. It looks so seamless on the skin. It doesn't look so heavy. It doesn't look overly pigmented. It doesn't look patchy. It looks very natural. I think that's one of the cool things about these blushes. I've noticed that Trend Mood and the other sneak preview pages have started to post new collections. I saw Dior just launched their spring collection this year, and I am so tempted. I have a nail polish currently sitting in my shopping cart, trying to girl math my way around the no-buy. I feel like nail polish is a separate category. Nails and nail polish is not the same as makeup. Is that fair, or am I cheating? It's my no-buy, so I make the rules, and I say nail polish doesn't count. I love using this on the eyes as well. I thought maybe it would be too much, too peach, too much pink, but it's pretty. The real purpose of the no-buy is not to be a punishment or force myself not to spend any money. It's really not even so much financial. Part of it is definitely avoiding waste, but it's more so to just be extremely intentional about all of my purchases. And that goes beyond beauty. I want to be just more intentional in general in 2024. Be more present, be more in the moment, enjoy the things I already have, less mindless scrolling, less mindless shopping. You know, social media can be such a great thing. It's a great connector, but it can also really distort our perceptions, and it's good to just be aware of it. I'm torn over these eyeshadows. I pulled out my Warmly Beige palette. I was planning on using this, but then I remembered that I picked up a few pieces from the Chantecaille holiday collection. They're still in the box, haven't touched them, haven't really looked at them. So I actually think I'm gonna use this today. This is the Radiant Gold Eye Shimmer from Chantecaille, the Gold Leaf collection. It looked so pretty. I love the packaging of this collection. Their pieces are always so pretty to look at. I find myself tempted to buy them, and then they just kind of sit. I look at them and think, wow, so pretty. But this is another prime example of why I need to put myself on a strict no-buy. It is gorgeous. I don't even want to know how much I paid for this. I also bought the powder. I skipped the highlighter, but I bought the eyeshadow, the powder, and the lip gloss. And it's just a single shadow. And they actually have had this exact color before. It was in different packaging. Good reminder that just because something is pretty does not mean we have to buy it. There's always a lot of really beautiful makeup. But if you're not going to use it, if you don't need it, if you're going to forget you ever bought it, and months are going to go by before you touch it, it's probably a good sign that you didn't need it to begin with. I really like the pink and gold shift though. Also looks similar to a lot of the eyeshadows that Pat McGrath Labs comes out with. So do I have something similar? I'm sure I do. It is going on really nicely though. And this was a 2023 purchase anyway, so I'm not going to beat myself up about it. It's beautiful. I'm curious how you're feeling about your beauty collection. Are you excited? Did you get a lot of makeup for the holidays as gifts? Are you ready to shop the sales, or are you kind of taking a step back? How are you feeling? What's your mood thinking about new collections this year? I hope I can stand strong on my no-buy, but I'm also continuing my 2 out, 1 in rule. I think that will help me use up more products. Ultimately, at the end of the year, the main goal is to just use up more than I bring in. I think 2 out before 1 in is a great place to start. The eyeshadow is really pretty on its own. You don't need anything else. I think this could be a really basic eye. And it goes with the blush really nicely. I'm going to add just a hint of dimension. I'm going to see what it looks like. I'm going to pick up a little bit of this chocolate and a little bit of the peach shade. I don't really want this look to be dark. I just want to add a little dimension and just kind of experimenting here. I'm just excited to be playing with makeup again. To finish the eyes, I quickly filled in my eyebrows, did liquid eyeliner on top, and mascara, of course. I also curled my lashes. And now to finish the face, I'm going in with this very pretty peachy highlighter from Chanel. This is their giant Les Symboles de Chanel oversized illuminating face powder in the shade Precious Coral. I believe these are all still available. And this is the Camellia pattern. Very pretty. I don't think this is a limited shade. I think they definitely have had a lot of highlighters in the past with a similar shade, but it's still very pretty. I like that it goes on pretty subtle as well. This shade doesn't have a lot of sparkle, like the little micro shimmers that the white color did. The icy white, or I forget what the name was, but that one was very similar to the holiday highlighter. And then it had all of those little flecks. This one is a lot more skin-like. A little bit on the nose as well. I can't help but be excited to see what Chanel comes out with this year. There's always at least one collection that blows me away, and I cannot wait. I've started to see some sneak peeks of spring. It makes me so excited. And my last big beauty goal for 2024 is to just create more content, more videos. I feel like in 2023, mostly because of the house. I mean, we moved, and anytime you move, it's a huge deal, but then having so many issues with the house definitely put me behind. Maybe it's too optimistic to hope that we won't have as many issues, but I'm excited to create even more content this year. And maybe branch out and do different things, different types of content as well. I'm always open to suggestions if anybody has any video ideas, anything that they'd like to see. I'd like to incorporate more storytime videos where we just sort of chit chat, talk about life, different topics, whatever topics you'd like to discuss. Of course, still do our makeup and talk about makeup too, but less focus on the products and maybe more focus on the trend or just whatever the topic of conversation is for the day. Let me know if that sounds interesting to you. Last up is lips. We're keeping things peachy. I'm going in with this Laura Mercier lip liner in the shade Baby Lips. I want to get back to more fragrance content as well, but right now I cannot smell anything. It's so sad. I was trying to smell a new fragrance the other day and I could barely smell anything. So fragrance is gonna have to wait probably another week. I always want my videos to be as beneficial to you as possible, whether that's sharing a product review or simply being entertainment, background noise while you clean. I know that's usually when I'm watching YouTube videos. It's because I'm cleaning or organizing and I just have it on the background. Maybe like to get ready together in the mornings. So whatever suggestions you have, anything you'd like to see content-wise, let me know. And then I'm going in with the Flirty Coral Rouge Coco Balm. This is 916. I'm hoping this wasn't limited edition. I feel like they probably have something similar. It definitely goes with the makeup. It might be a little bit too much, I don't know. And then I also have the 166 Rouge Coco Gloss. I think this is shade Physical. This is also a really pretty peach. What do we think of the lip? I feel like the lip is maybe a little bit too bright. I don't know, does it look electric? I dabbed the lipstick and I tried to add just a little gloss. I think this is much better. It's definitely more wearable. Just so we can stay on the theme with peach. Have a little something, a little shine. I don't know. I feel like I can still do better than this, but I do prefer just a hint of color. I think the lips before were too orange. This is much better. Okay, so all I did was let's see. I added a little bit of the Sephora Rouge Gel Lip Liner in shade Creme de la Creme. I love this one. Use it all the time. And then dab just a little bit of this Tom Ford Lip Gloss in shade 14 Crystalline right in the middle. So that way it's still warm, but it's a little bit more nude than peach and it doesn't look electric orange. I think this complements the cheek and the eye much better. And this is the final makeup look for the day. I made it through without hacking up a lung. I'm so proud of myself, or having to blow my nose, which would have ruined everything. I'm so thankful. And I really like the way it turned out. I love those Chanel blushes. I don't know what is different about them. There is something a little bit different that I love so much. And I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna grab those Les Beige blushes probably a little bit more than the original Chanel blushes. I think the shades are really nice and they just go on so easily. I like how sheer and buildable they are because they just sort of look like your skin, like you're naturally flushed. And it just feels great to be back to wearing makeup again, back to be filming and hanging out and talking about products with you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this first video of 2024. It is going to be the best year yet. I am manifesting nothing but prosperity for all of us, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be listed in the description box for your convenience only. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.